here to protest for my country.
I'm here to show support for the people of my country that have been protesting for about since the 28th of April.
I am here to support what is happening in Colombia, like to support the people that is protesting peacefully.
Protesting for our rights as Colombian citizens.
I've been living here for 19 years, but I came here as a refugee. So I'm protesting the government in Colombia who are silently killing us.
The police and the government are taking advantage of what is happening in Colombia, and they are killing people.
Which is what we see on informal sources online.
So I have some people that have been affected on my city, Bucaramanga, and also friends that are close to me from Cali that have been sending me pictures and of the things that has been happening. Yeah.
Well, all of the videos, I have family back at home that are constantly sending me their locations, how they're doing, what's going on with them, the politics behind it. All the evidence is by my family living back at home in Colombia, so all I can say is that the government is killing them with that evidence.
Live, they are doing live, and we have seen how they kill people during the lives. We have videos. And right now, at night, in Cali, one of the cities that has been the most affected, they also show how the police people are killing citizens in Colombia in the streets.
I think it's important as well to acknowledge that there's been violence from protesters as well. It hasn't been all peaceful protests.
Well, of course they wouldn't, agree with that. They wouldn't agree with that allegation, of course. A lot of the police, there's some, not all police are bad. There's some good ones, there's some bad ones. But most of them are for the government. They'd probably tell us to go to school so they wouldn't have to, kill us, which was on video. That was actually a comment made from a police officer in Colombia.
That is happening because they don't like to see that kind of order, that they are altering everything, and also because probably they are receiving some orders to do.
What can they say if the proofs are there and they know what is happening? I guess they are just following what they are being told from the president and from the government. I don't really blame the police. Of course, they know what they are doing, but at the same time, they are probably just getting an order from somebody in an upper position than them.
In a group of people, there is people that is frustrated and they attack others. There should be police that are feeling really bad because of this situation. I don't think so. I don't feel so, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, just because of the context of the country.
Right now we are protesting about the violence, but the protest is not because the violence. The violence was add-on to the first protest.
Because the personality of Colombian people, and because no one wants to see that the police is taking their friends,
And the context is that people are struggling, right? They were struggling before the pandemic. They're even struggling even more now with the pandemic. So I think the pandemic has just been the kind of the trigger.
Just arrested those rioters and just the people that were essentially looting. That wouldn't still stop anything. Everything would continue. The corruption would continue. The government would still steal from people. We've been protesting for many years now. What I'm looking for is a fair and just government.
Right now, we are just focused on collecting some funds to send to people that have been suffering from the attacks and that is recovering and that is needing some food, because right now the situation is really altering different.
For a better country, for a better government, for a less corrupt government. I'm not saying I'm on either side, neither for Petro or for Duque. I'm a centralist, I'd like to say.
I'm essentially advocating for just human rights. Everyone has the right to protest peacefully, to have a say, freedom of speech, to respect other people regardless of where you're from, where you're born, how much you make. Think we're all humans.
The police and the government stop taking advantage of their power, stop killing innocent people, stop killing my generation because we are fighting for our rights.
Colombia, it's the FARC or the guerrilla members. And I think that's just an excuse, right? Because if you see the protests happening around the world, in New York, Barcelona, all over the world, right? They're not part of like the left wing or a guerrilla member, right?
That could be happening, of course. But I don't think that everyone is going out to do those kind of things. There is people that is suffering, so of course there is a mix of people on the protest.
They were given this choice, to stop the issue that's been going on, all this violence, all this these critical situations, but they haven't, been met with that promise. And of course they're going to keep fighting for that, and they're going to keep going farther and farther into the process of trying to fight for their rights.
Honestly, everybody has their own point of view, and I respect that.
I don't know. I don't think that they will care that much because that's not the culture that the government have until now.
It is being pocketed.
It's definitely not true.
This highlights the main issue, that is corruption, right? Because the government's so corrupt that you have all these corrupt politicians spending the money that should go towards healthcare, infrastructure, education, basic needs, right?
Okay, Colombia probably doesn't have money, and that's true. But what is not true is that they don't have money because they spend it in things that they are saying.
They're living this lavish life that you can clearly see. They're driving all these cars, they're guarded by all these people. For what? They sleep in the governing process. When you look and they're in the parliament, they're not paying attention, but they're being paid for this.
They spend money in guns or in things for wars, why we don't know. And that's why Colombia has such a big deficit. I probably don't have proofs to show that.
You see the corruption in access, whatever access you have to healthcare resources, to education. It literally shapes your life to every extent that it determines, like where you're born determines where you're gonna end up.
I think if I go there, I will probably do the same as what I'm doing here. My protest here would be exactly the same as there.
Sometimes I do think, would it make a difference if I go back? But I think even if you're living abroad, you can make a difference by, supporting a local organization or supporting an NGO that sponsors children with education or whatever you're passionate.
We are doing it in Canada because we are here, but maybe the government or someone from Canada will share something and that will impact.
Right now, I'm pretty sure a lot of different countries are seeing what is happening because we are here.
If I would go back, I wouldn't know how to really essentially help. I tried all my best. But as a Colombian here, I've been doing my best to spread awareness, send money back to my family. I would like government attention.
Because as Colombians living abroad, it's something that I feel I should do. It's the least I could do for the country.
Be talking with the president, maybe government with government, maybe making them think about what they are doing. We are probably not expecting the government to change their beliefs or their ideas right away, but at least stop the violence right now, stop their police.
So many ideas pass through my mind. Sometimes it's just the intention that everyone puts here, to send energy, and I believe that maybe that will influence. That's one thing. Other thing is we can connect with other people and create ideas, maybe to send funds or to give emotional support, and maybe, I don't know, someone with influence will say something positive that is gonna bring some peace.
Canadians, especially the government, they put a lot of amounts into the Colombian government as well. We both interact quite frequently. It's not just the Canadian, it's also the American government. They do a lot of business transactions. There's a lot of deals going on. And with that being said, if we kind of cut ties with that government, or at least put an end, or not an end, but kind of a pause.
It's not hoping that Canadians fix any issue, but I think it's just bringing awareness to the issue that by itself creates an impact, because you start these kind of conversations with people. If we didn't have so many issues, Colombia would be a paradise, and I wouldn't be here. I would be back home.
I think in Colombia, unfortunately, we have a lot of stereotypes.
I do like to say the accessibility issue. There are postings in each area, but people in the mountains, people that are met with issues trying to get into the city, like the voting areas, that's one big issue right now. There's a lot of rural towns in Colombia, and it's very divided in the regions. And to meet that, it's mostly impossible.
A Colombia that's free of corruption, free of all this violence, free of political instigations, either from the left or the right. There's no perfect party, right?
We grow with this mentality that if you don't have this, or if you don't believe this, then you are not anyone. We never see each other like it, and that's bad.
That with any cause, it's important, whether it's the Colombian situation right now, or whether it's Palestine, or whatever it is that is happening in the world. I think it's very important that we as young people stay not connected, but we stay informed.
Everyone like could find the way to find more peace within in themselves. I just think that that's one of the ways to really go to the root of this crisis.
Send a big hug and kiss to all my people in Colombia. We are here for you. Vancouver from Canada, we love you. We are here to support. We are spreading the message, and hopefully very soon we are gonna be out of this problem, out of this nightmare, and that's it.